Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast Dragon Ball edition. Today we have a very special Dragon Ball episode for you guys Today we are recording. It is about to be the 5-year anniversary of the L7C podcast, and we told you guys the past couple episodes what we're going to do is re-listen a little bit to the very first episode of the L7C podcast. And the first episode was talking some Dragon Ball with the Dragon Ball expert Mitch Osso, and he's here with us today. How are you doing today, sir?
I was always doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. We are about to literally on the day of recording next week on the 26th will actually be the official first day your episode went out on the air and kicked off the L7C podcast.
Man, 5 years, man. 5 years flies by with just thinking back to where we were in our lives at that time and where we are now. It's incredible and, you know, grown in different ways since then. And as we're about to listen to this podcast again, we'll realize that, yeah, we've probably taken steps forward in terms of talking about, well, Dragon Ball and anything for that matter. Because sometimes I think this could be rough because, like, this first episode, I was not on a computer talking to you. I was on my, like, phone.
Mhm.
I was sitting in the guest room on a couch in which I had, and yeah, it was like talking on a speakerphone about the Moro arc, and it's just I expect bad audio. I expect bad like pauses in our talks. It'll be just maybe even some predictions about how the moral arc would pan out. That would be incredibly wrong, but hopefully at some point we'll see that maybe we were right about some things. So
Right. So let's dive right into it. We'll be skipping around here and there, and let's see how we used to start back in the day.
yeah, we started off with a 52-minute podcast. You
Yeah.
know, that's
hmm
that's wild for the
The
first time.
very
That's how long it is now, it seems like, but 52 minutes. All right. Go ahead,
let's-
play it.
Yo, have you heard about
oh,
Anchor?
the old
It's the easiest way
anchor
to make a
thing.
Oh,
podcast.
yo.
Explain.
Have you heard about Anchor?
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your
Oh,
podcast right from your phone or
My
computer.
goodness.
Anchor will distribute
Uh,
your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and
Jesus.
many more.
oh,
You can make money from
man.
your
The
podcast,
nostalgia.
home listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to
Did they give you free
anchor.fm
money
to
for
get
that?
started.
No, like, or was it?
So for the first for that, yeah. So when you first started on Anchor, which is now Spotify, because Spotify combined them, whatever, blah blah blah, you had to do that thing because that was the way you get ad revenue, like money at that time.
Yeah.
But then when you reached a certain amount of money, they're like, yeah, you can't get any more money off the ads because people are actually listen to that ad because people are actually listening to your stuff, and we don't want to pay you. So that ad alone, 5 years now, I mean, which I know we've talked about off camera what I would do. It did make a couple $100.
That's
So,
amazing.
but yeah, having to put that in front of every episode was something else at the beginning, and actually hearing that for the first time in years, that was crazy.
When did the purchase occur? Like, how long has it been since we had that in front of a episode?
Probably, oh man, probably 2 something years because I don't think it's been in front. It definitely hasn't been in front of episode where everyone started getting like their own individual like artwork for their episodes to
Yeah,
differentiate, which that was a good idea because everyone could be like, oh, I can listen to this and blah blah. So probably 2.5 years in all honesty.
that's amazing. All
So
right,
yeah,
keep playing.
Parents, anyone who's been to college knows there's just a little bit of art in here, and you got made.
this is the old intro
Yeah. Yep.
made by EVP Justin Akindale. Man, this intro is looking kind of long too. Jesus.
All right,
Oh, never
everybody,
mind.
welcome to the L7C podcast. You got Martin here, and you got Main man, Mitchell
Jesus
Osso
Christ.
here. Mitch, say hi to the viewers or listeners.
Greetings, listeners. Hopefully, everyone is enjoying their Friday.
Oh my God, man. Listen to us try to,
Talk all about
essentially talk to
we want to discuss
nobody.
today.
Yeah.
And
We're
one of our
like
first
so
topics,
proper
first
and
episode,
like
a little bit
just
about
not within our element yet.
so then you know who
Jesus.
you are getting your information from. So, Martin, take it away.
Thanks, Mitch.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
so we were college roommates freshman year, freshman year at Capital University, random roommate pairings. Anyone who's been to college knows how.
So I want to pause right there because Mitch, I don't know if you've know now or have reminisced a little bit. I have. Our freshman move-in was 15 years ago.
Dude. The gray hairs that are growing on the side of my head are only accelerating whenever you say shit like that, man.
Like just bringing up that freshman, it was 2010. No, yeah, 2010 August. It was
Yep.
15 years ago when we moved in as freshmen.
Yep. It was slightly around this time, maybe in July of 2010, whenever you texted me. I was coming home from a vacation in Virginia or something like that, and then yeah, then about a month later we moved into our dorm together. Oh my God. Jeez, 15 years, man. 15.
Hmm.
How you do that survey?
But
Like when you're
it's funny how we're given these first couple minutes, we're giving everyone the rundown as to
Who is connected?
our history, and these people probably listen to this episode. We're like, oh my God, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, it was the first, we had to do introductions because it could have been like, just who the hell is talking about this Dragon Ball shit?
Yeah,
So
that
let's
is
see where we're
true.
at this 243 mark.
Just the world in general. Even people who have never watched the show can probably at least describe what a Super Saiyan is.
All right,
Maybe
that's
not
still
in
true to this day.
detail, but
Right?
at least know what it means.
What horrible audio.
So that's going to be our focus for this first episode.
First question.
Martin, how do you want to approach what we discussed? Are we discussing Z Super? Recent manga chapter came out yesterday.
before I was actually going to piggyback of what you said about the global phenomenon, and even with the Super Saiyan thing, I think children of our generation, people born from like 90, 92, and so forth. I mean, if you didn't watch anime, there's two characters that everyone knows, and it's Goku and Sailor Moon.
And we just talked about that on a podcast a couple months ago.
Yeah. I think the funny thing, if I recall from the podcast, I remember, you know, we would give the rundown as to like a quick summary as to what happened in the manga chapter, and then after that, then we would discuss the manga chapter. So a lot of people were able to skip to that part when we started talking. But I remember these initial talks whenever I'd be given the summary, I felt like I never gave you any room to talk. And I remember having those like thoughts. I'm like, wow, the guy who's actually putting this all together and making this little tiny dream of ours actually a reality. I am like drowning him out to be able to say anything productive.
I think it's also I mean, there's still people who do that to this day now. So, but in that I think theirs is a different, I'm not going to name names, but theirs is a different ones where you've never had issues having confidence to talk, so you'd be able to talk right off the bat, while some of the people who their first podcast or whatever, they were very scared to talk, but now have gotten comfortable where they just want to talk. So
Yeah.
so let's see. So let's see what
Like everyone knows who those
yeah,
two
that's Goku and
characters.
Sailor Moon. So we're gonna scoot on up.
All the movies, even the movies that didn't even come out in the USA, we are well versed in the Dragon Ball world.
This
Do
is
you
us
feel
talking
like
about our
Super,
expertise.
like stood up? Like, did you feel like after Z that it could compare to Z? Did you feel let down by it after how Z ended? Or
So first question, finally we're getting into the questions at the 558
Yeah,
mark.
the 6 minute mark,
Your
we're
first
moving past ourselves.
God, your first question was a doozy. Do you feel like Super has lived up to the Dragon Ball name? And this is when Super has been done for 2 years because it finished in
Yeah.
2018, like the anime. So, at that time we thought it was coming back. Lord and behold, we're in 2025 and still no anime.
That's so sad, man. That's so wild for you
So
to say.
let's hear what your answer was back then and see if it's different 5 years later.
Feel as though Z is like, it was like, in terms of like Toriyama's work, it was like the Odyssey or like the Iliad of like, like anime, for example. Now
Good
there's
God, man.
like delve deeper into their stories and it might be more intriguing, but like the
Talking about
grasp
Homer's
and
Odyssey, comparing it
monumental,
to
the monumental like reach that Dragon Ball franchises met, it's just hard to compare to. But like when Super came out, um, it started off with the Beerus saga, and when we were watching it, nostalgia was kicking in. Everyone's excited. It could have probably the production could have been better because I don't know if anyone has seen the original like drawings. If they were bad, watch the Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Beerus.
Answer the question, Mitch. Gosh, damn.
But
So much filler.
like Super, if it brought back like an excitement. The Beerus saga was all right. I mean, it didn't end like on anything spectacular. Basically, Goku passed out, and Beerus was not going to destroy the planet. Then it got interesting with introducing new universes because then that's different set pieces, new characters. Then it got really good. Then when they introduced Zamasu and Goku Black, and you're thinking of an evil Goku and going like almost polar opposite. And it was good. And then Tournament of Power. Overall, Z is significantly better, but Super I think has done pretty good in terms of its structure. Always room for improvement, I do believe, and yeah, I think Super's doing pretty good for itself.
How do you feel 5 years later on that?
Pretty accurate. The beginning stuff was kind of mid, and then once it hit Zamasu, then it was just significantly better. Story plots, story threads, and pacing or whatnot. So, still have that thought in my mind about Super. It's funny though, as like back then, like what you had said, Super was only done for 2 years, and we
Mhm.
were anticipating that it would come back
Mhm.
shortly, and here we are without it turning. But well, I mean, Daima, but in terms of Super and the continuation of that, so it's like I still stand by that, but it is. I wouldn't. I'm surprised that Super hasn't, aged like fine wine in the sense that I don't look back on it and think that it gets better as I look back on it.
That
But
makes sense. What? So that was the 8 mark. Let's see let's go to a milestone minute mark. Let's go to the 10-minute mark. Let's see what we were talking about.
Divide, and it kind of ruined Super for me. I also didn't like
Oh, something ruined Super for me.
oh,
What?
Linear at
oh,
that point.
Yeah.
I guess in other episodes we could talk about the power scaling and how a lot of stuff made no sense in that Tournament of Power, and
That
how
hasn't made sense since Frieza, man. It has not. Ever since they introduced Frieza and Dragon Ball Z, nothing makes sense with power scaling.
yeah, that's true. And just like for example, like the Tournament of Power, Kefla made Goku go Ultra Instinct Sign, but she's over there losing to Mystic Gohan in the manga. Like
Oh,
there's just
Jesus.
oh yeah.
this divide, and it kind of ruined Super for me. I also
All right, so power scaling ruined Super for me back in the day. 5. Yeah, I did not remember saying that at all.
That's funny.
Jesus.
Now,
Um,
do you still believe that the
uh,
manga ruined the anime for Super for you?
yes, because that was the first time in our lives that the manga was coming after the anime. Like the anime sped it up. It's like they wanted to be done while Tournament Power's over, and Toriyama's like, "Hey, I'm still actually writing the Tournament of Power and doing all that stuff over here in the manga, and the fact that the manga kept going. I know later on we had suspicions like, oh, the anime sped up so the manga could get so far ahead so then they could finally do the Moro arc, which they still have not done. But yeah, I mean, it made no sense with some of the differentiating things, but I don't know if I mentioned it at all in this podcast. But then in the manga, you have Earthly Master Roshi, who knows the principles of Ultra Instinct, being able to dodge Jiren, but then going back to my power scaling thing, that would make no sense. Because even if he did know the principles, he has such a low power level, Jiren would be able to find him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a crock of shit. That part, yeah, that's where the manga dampered how the tournament power was and in my eyes, yeah, the anime did it better.
Mhm.
Overall, I think the anime did the Tournament of Power better than the manga. Granted, the manga had some things that were more correct, like Kefla, for example. The Kefla being this power scaling of maybe Gohan was
Mhm.
more accurate in my eyes compared to, you know, freaking Super Saiyan Blue. So,
Made no sense. And then also the Frieza Saiyan racism in the manga was fantastic.
oh yes, so
Like he
good.
didn't interact with the Saiyans at all in the Tournament of Power anime. Like Caulifla and Kale, like even Caulifla's like, "What's with this guy? He hates Saiyans." Like we needed that would have been cool.
Well, remember he did interact with
Yeah, he
what was that?
eliminated Kaba.
Yeah, Kaba. You remember, and he talked that shit to Kaba, but yeah, he took it to a whole nother level in the in the manga.
All right, so that was a 10-minute mark. Let's just see what's going on a little bit after
So didn't
this.
like how the anime was pumping out episodes a lot quicker than the manga. I feel like if they would have waited for the manga to end, it might have been better.
Yeah.
What we literally just said. All right, all right. Let's scoot on. Let's see what we're talking about. Literally at the 15-minute mark.
And that had to end when Goku had to actually bring,
Let's see what we were saying.
immortal, so we couldn't just kill him by normal means, if at all. Uh, Black, he couldn't be killed wearing the time ring,
All right, talking about Goku Black.
and
Okay.
and it just made it so that every chapter that came out, you were sitting there wondering, okay, like what you said, how are they going to defeat this guy? Because he
Okay.
is stomping them right now, and it is bad. It is bad. And that had to end when Goku had to actually bring the Omni Kings. That
All right. So back at the 15-minute, we were talking about like how when the chapters were coming out, especially with like, or the episodes at this point with Black, were like, because it was a new arc, it wasn't in a movie. We're like, how are they going to beat this guy? Because every time they think of something, something else goes completely haywire. So I think that's still. I mean, those Black was a good time. Like when that anime was coming out every week, like with the
Oh
Goku
yeah.
Black thing and all the speculations again. I was extreme. I was a Tuffle. I thought it was a Tuffle. I really did because they hate Sans just as much as anyone else. But yeah, it was not a Tuffle. So all right, Mitch. Where now? I'll start asking you. Where do you want to skip to minute mark wise?
Well, I feel like you're about to start skipping into the Moro arc chapter.
Okay.
And I don't know if I necessarily care about the summary all too much because if I recall it, it's just I'm literally just describing what happened in the chapter. So I would say at some point I should be starting this reading. So I would assume if you clicked at the 25-minute mark, it would be there. Let's just see what it says here real quick. Yeah, that'd be fine right there.
and then we kind of just pulled the e-brake on it, and then Goku learns how to master a technique that was introduced in, well, technically hinted at back right when Super started, and then it comes in during the Tournament of Power, but it doesn't win the Tournament of Power. It basically sets them up to win.
So we're talking about UI. at this point in time?
Do we talk about the
Okay.
episode, or do we talk about the manga here, or do we just jibber jabber for 52 minutes and then the next episode we start?
It might be the next episode. Right now, we're talking about UI and how, let's see, and think about how we first came in and how our thoughts
That
were
was
about it.
introduced and,
Let's listen to it a
well,
little bit.
technically hinted at back
Because I could have
right
swore our first episode
comes
we were
from
bitching
tournament power,
about
but it doesn't
Goku
lose
giving Moro senzu
power.
bean.
It basically
No,
sets
might
Is that
not
not?
be.
up to
Let's,
win, if that makes sense.
well, this
So
might just
it's
be an
like,
introduction to like, hey, give us a chance.
I don't want MUI to be the reason why the story ends, because then all that stuff gets erased. But if MUI comes and it doesn't actually defeat Moro, then that's over 2 for MUI because it didn't defeat Jiren.
Oh, talking about MUI back in the day, because technically it led to them beating Jiren, but it wasn't the final blow. And then, man, coming back, he said if it doesn't beat Moro, it's 0 for 2. Mitch,
It's true,
thoughts?
man. It's true. Like back then, like I mean, that's why we hark on blue so much because it doesn't do a damn thing. It's just you might as well just
Mhm.
fight in base because that form doesn't do jack shit. But man, I'm calling
Oh,
out MUI like whenever it's fresh off the press, like gosh damn, Mitch, like give it give it some time to work itself out. Let the story unfold. But yeah, it's still
that
that's
is
funny. That's really
hilarious. That is hilarious how that back then we were talking about MUI being 0 for 2, and then we didn't even. I mean, this is way before granola, so then the failures with
even
granola and all that
even
stuff.
even then
Ooh.
and now looking back on it, it's like okay, so let's just say Tournament of Power, MUI over 1. For Moro though, you could say that it went 1 for 1, but granted, it needed Oob's spiritual energy to reignite it because Goku was not going to win that fight without his what do you call it? His mega
Oh, the
Megazord
Megazord.
form, you know. And then MUI didn't defeat Gas, didn't defeat Frieza, so that form does have a losing record. It is like 1-2 or 1-3, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, because I mean, with the with Moral thing, it's even worse. It wasn't even just Oob. It was freaking Vegeta had to reverse Spirit Fishing, like Fisher the Earth, and all that
Yep.
crap, and then Oob, and then granola stuff. That was just bad, and then Gas too, and God, man, that's crazy. Talking about Emulon, let's
I'm
see what
like,
we keep going here
I'm
though.
like, okay, this is sweet, but doesn't get the job done.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Like,
feel that snippet right there is the cumulation of, well, I guess besides Beast Gohan and his movie, of the new forms and Super not getting the
Yeah,
job done.
they did.
Because I think Beast Gohan's the only person who really won his first fight in his new form.
Um, yeah, because
Because God lost. Do you count Blue beating
not the
Frieza?
first time, because it's like, Goku did not defeat Frieza. So then Vegeta takes his chance. He doesn't defeat Frieza. So then Goku has to travel back in time with Whis just to get the kill shot off. So I mean, it's like Goku had to have a mulligan to win with it. So it's like you're putting an asterisk on that scorecard. And then Zamasu, they didn't beat him. And the Tournament of Power, depending on how strong that opponent was that they fought. I mean, okay, yeah. Um, Super Saiyan Blue defeated, the trio de Dangers. Okay, is that's your signature win? Okay, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
you are
mean,
right because
Blue Evolution beat Topa. I think that's that signature win. That's its only real like
yeah,
win-win.
but yeah, back in Z, the other forms, um, they were at least getting some dubs. So you mean like Super Saiyan was getting, the dubs? Like Goku didn't kill Frieza, but he thought he had killed Frieza and then, just
Yep.
flew away. Trunks did his, his work on Frieza. Super Saiyan 2.
I am Vegeta, Android
Yep.
19.
Well, even with Vegeta, you could still say that Vegeta, with his ascended Saiyan form, I mean,
Yeah,
he beat the piss out of, you know,
in perfect cell.
semi-perfect Cell, but well, maybe that's like a half win because he absolutely then got destroyed by Perfect Cell, but
Hmm. No, you're right. Then Super Saiyan 2, you're gonna say two, Cell, obviously, and in the movies too, beat BoJack. The one that people were talking about, obviously, was Super Saiyan 3. How, I mean, it was stronger than Fat Boo, and he was fighting Kid Boo in what we thought was the end of Z. But then also, it beat the dog shit out of Fat
mhm.
Janemba. It killed
I think the
Harudagon.
I
Uh,
think the Janemba though would be like a half win though, just because
oh yeah, because he
that would be
transformed.
the same as like Vegeta beating semi-perfect Cell, but then losing to perfect. It's like half.
Good point.
Um, but regular Super Saiyan though, you can give the credit that Goku beat Cooler, I guess
Yeah, if
by
you go to the
himself.
movies and all of
Yeah,
that, yeah, by
yeah.
himself, first one. And then obviously years later, Super Saiyan 3 was getting a whole bunch of wins in Daima.
Oh yeah.
Um, like, so yeah, that's kind of crazy because you think of Blue. I mean, even when Goku debuted, probably the coolest version of Blue with the red Kaioken, even that he ran, his body couldn't take it, so he had to basically
Yeah.
give up against hit, and that didn't really do much. Man, look at that. 5 years later, still searching for signature dubs. I mean, Beast Gohan, obviously, they won their thing with the help of Orange Piccolo. And I mean, Blue's best win is in the form of fusion when he was Blue Gogeta beating the hell out of
Yeah.
Broly. Yeah, man. Think about this, man. When we recorded this, Beast Gohan wasn't even a thing. This was 2020.
Not,
Like, this is like Beast Gohan. None of them were out
not even
yet.
a
We didn't,
hint.
like, that is
Not even
crazy.
a hint that um not even a hint that Gohan was coming around. Hell, with not even a hint that we thought Frieza would get a new form.
Yeah, yeah, this is way before Black, and that was episodes one of our Black Frieza,
No, no.
man.
Oh, you
That
remember
was
during this, wasn't there a manga panel or was it like a little special that Toriyama made or Toritaro made of Frieza basically trying to avoid Moro?
yes, yes,
I don't know if he was avoiding Moro or he was just like, eh, nah, nah, not the party I want to attend.
yeah, yes, it was
I I can't even believe I even remembered that one because like
April 3rd, April 3rd, 2020. Yeah, he was like a quick little snippet in the bonus like thing, like
yeah.
you said in the moral arc. That is wild, man. All right, let's scoot up a little bit because they were talking. Let's go to 30.
which we've been informed that if you kill the Supreme Kai, then the God of Destruction is killed. Now,
My God, this audio is trash.
where we want to look at
Yeah, I mean, like you already said back then, what you were recording into. Also, we were at that time. It's improved. We haven't used it in a while, but back then, you would just send the link in the Anchor app, and then you would just click in, and then that was it. So that's your recording. And so then back then, when we would send that recording to Justin, who was the only person editing at our first almost year and a half. So think about that. That one person was editing all those episodes back
I
then.
remember I remember a critique that Justin, I don't know if he gave it, I think he gave it to me, but I think he also gave it to maybe like, Evan, for example,
Hmm.
NBA's or the NBA insider for the L7C. He told us
Hmm.
stop saying like all of the
Yeah.
fucking time. And I actually took that and pondered how I could improve upon my like my speech with that. And whenever in high school, I was part of the radio team, and I remember whenever I did my commercials, my ads for the radio, that as I'm talking, if I make a mistake or if I say something wrong and I need to repeat myself, to pause enough time so that when you go back into editing, you can actually like remove that snippet. You know,
Hmm.
give the producer some time to be able to work with the flow of the episode or the ad in my case. So I think that helps out a little bit, but I've never sat down to see how Justin or like Byron work these episodes and if that helps at all. But oh my gosh, so many ums and like
And also, what we would send it, if I remember, it would only be one audio file. So now when we send them, it's two audio files. It's my audio and your audio, so they can put it. It's a lot easier to cut with two audio files because if you just have one audio file, you might be cutting off someone else who was saying something perfectly fine, but you're trying to take out an and yeah, man, that was a long time ago back to that.
yeah, that's even nice that you send it in individual audios in case you don't like maybe what somebody said in one. You can be like,
Hmm.
well, I don't want to get rid of this entire segment because there's actual substance here, but okay, what this one person said, I probably don't want that on air. So it's like,
Right. That is
This is
crazy. Let's
like
see what else.
is Supreme Kai that we have always known from like Dragon Ball Z. You know, he's like the East Supreme Kai. Is he tied with Beerus? Because in the Goku Black arc, we learned that
Mhm.
that storyline. But like, if the Dakaio was the Supreme Kai to him, then wouldn't there then be by default a God of Destruction tied to him? You know, I feel like Beerus would want to make sure that the Kais don't get destroyed. So I would think that he would try to maybe get rid of Moro. So that part of the story, I feel like, could introduce him to this fight, or if he just wants to, return a favor to the Z fighters, and that is they won the Tournament of Power. He did not get erased because they won the Tournament of Power. So it's like, okay, now
amen.
we're even.
Amen.
I saved you, you saved me, we're done.
Beerus has done nothing to help
That's
those
what I would
guys
like to see. I think
since
that would be a good approach.
since the
Now,
end of the Tournament of Power. He has not even thrown them a party. He has basically just said thank you, and they saved his ass, and they saved everyone's ass. And all he does is bitch at them whenever they're training on his planet that they should not be there, but training on his planet is the reason why he's still alive. And he's just he's a character. But no, that
I think at this time, this was before. This is definitely before we were about to get hyped. Where Beerus was just like, "All right, I need to step in," and even Weiss was like, "Wait, what the
no.
hell?" And then obviously that moment gets ruined from man. Okay, that is something else talking about Beerus.
And then
Let's
the
see. What,
whole the confusion as to why does Beerus not protect the Kais more? So,
yeah, still to this
yep, still to
day.
this day.
the issue, I would rather see it once every, 3 arcs.
Ooh, is this about fusion?
But it's like, I don't want, like what you were stating is that like Super Saiyan Blue is a joke. I don't want MBY to be coming in and out all the time, clicking my fingers to try to resolve the issue. I would rather see it once every 3 arcs, and then like it just clicks. Then Goku gets it. Then problem solved.
Well, we were wrong
Yep,
about that.
yep. To not get it every, 1 or 3 arcs, maybe even by accident, he mastered it. He uses it all the time, and nope, he uses it, I don't know, to cook goddamn breakfast. Like,
Oh man, I wonder if we God, let's scoop a little bit. I wonder if this is when we talk about like, oh, maybe we hope he doesn't
I can't
master it
remember
right
oh
what
God,
away.
yes.
first that was not shown was. but you have these universes that did not participate in the Tournament of Power, and
All right, talking about the
when they
unknown
did
universes.
the ranking scale of like the mortal levels, which the Grand Priest and the Omni Kings, they basically made and for anyone who doesn't know this, they made a ranking list of of all the mortals that were in those universes based off. It was probably based off of like their strength, their fighting, maybe how intellectual they are, their advancements in technology, civilization, all that stuff. And Universe 7, the one in which we've grown to admire the most, was second from the bottom on that list, only behind or in front of Universe 9, which was absolute garbage.
All right, so at that point we're talking about the
The
universes,
scales.
and you just talked about the trio of danger but no, nine wasn't the trio because nine was that garbage one that they sent the assassins to kill Goku and Frieza. Oh no,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
nine.
nine.
10
Yeah,
was that one. Yeah,
yeah, that was nine. That was with the scummy God of Destruction and the the Kai Sidra, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah, that was that. You might be thinking of Universe 10 with Zamasu and the elephant,
yeah.
where they were
Hmm.
all like
They
bodybuilders
were terrible.
and they got their ass beat by like Frieza, for example.
Yeah, they were terrible. All right, 40-minute mark. Let's see what we're talking about here.
That he has to come into a story arc. We still have the Universe 6 saying
Pause it here real quick.
punch through.
All right.
Going back to that one part where we're talking about the power scaling of the universes,
Hmm.
it's still been 5 years and we have not seen jack squat from those four universes that were emitted from the Tournament of Power.
Oh,
Like an absolute huge universe of story plots and character availability that has not been touched at all. So, 5 years.
nah, that's crazy. I think we're still talking about universes here.
Guide. So that
Yeah.
could cause stuff in with his new stuff. I still want to see that. Obviously, they got to bring back Broly sooner or later. He's chilling on Planet Vampa right now, and the movie
They
was
did
just such
that
a
a
big
little bit.
success that he has to come into a
Hmm.
story arc. We still have the Universe 6 fans, even though I'm not the biggest fans of them. Vegeta wanting to meet their king.
That has obviously not happened.
Nope, not at all. It may never happen.
We have not seen any of those other universes in five
Nope,
years.
none of them. None of them. Even the ones that we saw, man, just they haven't even
Oh
been
my
talked about.
God.
The only person that's been talked about after that Tournament of Power is Jiren. He's the only one that anyone gives a damn about.
God.
I don't know if it'll end where maybe Goku or Vegeta take the reins of God of Destruction. I don't think that's going to
Ooh, this
happen,
is
but I
me trying to
mean,
get my prediction
the
of the end of
Super is
Super. Oh
basically
boy.
them pushing themselves to be beyond the gods, and sooner or later, one of them, or if not both, are going to be at true God level or beyond.
Yeah. And you just reminded me.
Huh?
See, the one thing about like what they're so with the moral arc, the one thing that they were gearing up to is that Goku and Vegeta are as strong as gods. Well, one little subplot that was at the beginning of the this arc was that to for the Grand Kai or Takayo to defeat Moro in the past, he had to use his own god power.
Oh, are we going into one of your
One of-
your one of the predictions you were standing on a long time
Yep.
ago?
About
Uh,
they were going to they were going to have to give up their god powers to defeat Moro, and then that would lead into GT. Yep.
well,
Or to steal
let's
away Moro's magic, you know. And is that how this chapter or this arc's going to end? Is that or going to be another story plot that's going to be depleted because let's say that's actually how they have to defeat Moros. That we're going to find out he has new magic in the next couple chapters, and it's going to screw them over. And then they have to sacrifice their God key, their Super Saiyan God form, their Super Saiyan Blue form, to seal away his magic, so then they can defeat him straight up. And but then if they do that, then I mean, Goku's the strongest at Super Saiyan 3, unless you think Mystic Gohan is the strongest of the Z fighters. So it's like, are we going to get rid of a power boost? But then Universe 7 is significantly then weaker than even Universe 6.
And I know you've been on that give up their God thing since the very beginning. Like that's been your thing that which technically is still in play because this hasn't ended yet. I mean I think it's
Well, spoiler, it is not play anymore because it did not
Nope,
happen.
that was a one person fan theory that personally I look back on it and I still think it's legit. You know,
Yeah.
it's like if you were trying to tie in the GT, which I mean Toriyama has shown that he was wanting elements of GT to be canon. Like whenever Diamond came out and he
Yeah.
made Super Saiyan 4. So that was on his mind that he wanted Super Saiyan
Hmm.
4 at some point. I hope maybe he had it during this time frame, but obviously I don't have any details for that, but it just seems like he would. And then I mean that the moral arc started with them giving up his, his key, and then it just I don't understand why that plot point was emphasized throughout the arc, and then it just wasn't utilized for for Goku and Vegeta. Maybe that's how it was. Maybe that's how it was starting off, and then somebody of influence or power was just like, nah, nah, nah. We got games to sell. We got merchandise to sell, and we need Goku and Vegeta to keep these forms for as long as possible. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just planting seeds of doubt right now, but in all honesty, it's just I was just flat wrong.
Oh man, that's 45.
That little spark of God power in them, and then once you sacrifice it, give it up or whatnot, you can never get it again. And it'd be some bogus explanation as to why they either couldn't do that or it'd be kind of like, oh, you can just do the ritual again? Okay, well, when the next guy comes along, how about we just seal him away real quick, get 6 more fans, but for breeding like rabbits, so we always have plenty in the stock, and then we could always just keep getting it back. But who knows?
I guess last thing Goku beats Moro next month, yes or no?
No.
Oh, okay, you were right about that.
How many
No, Goku beats Moro next month, yes or no?
how many more chapters was it or episodes was it? Do you happen to know that? Like
Let's see. Yeah, I could pull up our thing right
I
now, really,
wouldn't I
really.
wouldn't sweat it too much if it
Oh no, I just have to go to the app and just scroll all the way to the bottom, so it's not really that big a deal. It just might take forever because we have 10 billion, not 10 billion episodes, but I do actually wanna know what the hell. All right, so let's go to, let's see, per page. Let's do 30 per page. Wow, this is a lot of. I wish they just had a go to last episode. Like that would be fantastic. fantastic. But I think the first one was the Moro the Sensumine. Like we did, I remember because we used to do previews. Oh, let me just type it in. Let's type in Dragon Ball Super manga. Dragon Ball Super manga. Manga's not coming back. Granola's officially a problem. All right, so our first episode, we did that. This one came out in August. All right, this our second Dragon Ball episode ever came out September 15th. Dragon Ball Super manga preview. Because remember when we first started, and there's only like 2 or 3 people on the podcast, we were talking about previews and the review.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Dragon Ball. Um, if we could change one thing, so that was Dragon Ball Super manga 64. So what was going on in 64? I can do that real quick. Um, oh, Goku's about to go. Oh, this is where he goes Ultra Instinct. Yeah, he goes Silver. Jesus Christ, yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, this was the 64 one. Moro's probably up. Moro's not. I don't think he's Angel Moro. You have this is the chapter where Goku had that sweet punch.
Oh, the one, the uppercut into Moro's gut.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The one that like sent shockwaves around the world. That was awesome.
Yep. Wow, that is crazy. That was that one. And then yeah, 64 review. What was 65? Uh, Dragon Ball 65 is fine. Leak discussion raised divisiveness. So that's the sense. That has to be the sensu bean. Has to be the sensu bean one. Man, this is crazy. Wow, that was back then. So you didn't beat Moro back then because obviously he keeps going and he gets the angel powers and then infuses with the earth and all of that
Yeah,
stuff. So let's
had
see what else.
plenty of episodes left to record and record over this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, at least I got that prediction right that it wasn't ending
Are
next month.
out, but and then yeah. So I just have a hunch that somebody else is going to at least assist in the end of this fight. So
Yeah,
You were right on
I don't
that.
think he beats tomorrow either. Next month, I do think he is from that last picture. He's gonna tap into MU alive maybe for a bit, and then is about to beat Moro. But then Moro pulls off another shenanigan, and
Holy
then
shit, I was right.
the last stand happens.
Amazing.
Others coming, so that's what I think is it's gonna happen. But we'll find out next month.
it's terrible, but
Yeah, because I mean, we've been talking about doing this literally for almost 10 plus.
Oh, this is just talking about us making the podcast at the
make
end of
a
the thing.
decision. And that's for another topic. But
Yeah, definitely.
that's it from me.
Awesome. Well, again, man, thanks for hopping on and being a part of it. Really, really appreciate it. Like I've already said, this is 10 years or too late, but we're going to be catching up. Thanks to everyone listening to the podcast.
Good one.
Good one. Take it easy, man.
Yeah, the same.
I think I had to do a closing back then for Anchor too.
thank you for listening to this episode of the
Yeah,
L7C
Oh
Jesus
man,
Podcast. Be sure to
Christ.
like, rate, review, and
You have to do a
subscribe to the
preview
channel.
and a
Follow us on
closing.
dude,
all
these
social
these
media.
intros and these outros, these might be the best things to listen to.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, Mitch, just first time re-listening to the very first episode and how things have freaking changed.
Yep. From how we talk, from how we approach things, um, within just our little, corner of this channel, but then just reflecting on how much you've expanded the L7C from um, different topics of discussion, or from the streaming in which with video games that you've
Mhm,
added, or the merchandise. It's
mhm.
it's impressive what you've done with the L7C in these last 5 years. It's
Yeah, man. Only,
I can only
only.
imagine what 5 years from now would be looking like, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. Just even thinking about that audio and thinking that people actually gave the content was good enough that they fought through that audio and listened to the first episode to give the other ones a chance is something in itself.
The that audio was so tough even for me to listen to. I'm just like we must connect to listeners to some degree so much better than other podcasters out there, because like I guarantee there was plenty of other people that they could listen to where they could
Hmm.
probably understand what the hell they were saying. But they stuck around, and they continue to listen to us, and I hope, even word of mouth, they've been sharing that,
Hmm.
we're relatable, and
Hmm.
it's kept this train going. So kudos to
I just remember the very first times we were just like, "Oh man, we got to listen!" Like, and I still even shit it. Even if one person listens to an episode, I'm like, "All right, good stuff." But I remember when like those things where we used to look at, and I haven't looked at this thing in forever. I'm looking at it right now, real time. Like, remember the days of like first countries?
Yep,
Like, we're like, wait, someone in the United States? And I'm just looking on this thing. There's been a whole bunch of different ones added that I don't even. We're like, wait, someone in the United States actually not listen to this? Like Canada, oh, or United
yep.
Kingdom, or
Or like some place over in the Middle East, for example, or in South America, or a random country in Africa, and you're like, wow, I can't believe that like it's like back then it's like, oh, I can't even believe that like Anchor is even available to them. Like I didn't know maybe they had their
yeah,
own podcast platform, and and maybe that's how it is. Maybe they don't have Anchor, but there's it's just how they get their podcast, and it was just amazing to me to know that somebody else across the world was deciding that they wanted to give us a try.
yeah, man. Like again, just 5 years from ago, it's like, all right, 100% people who listen to our stuff are in the United States and in the state that we live in, because it's like maybe us and someone
Yeah,
else, or
friends or
maybe someone
family,
blah
or
blah.
people that you just happen to know or whatnot.
Now, just looking 5 years later, 85% of our podcast listeners are in the United States. 15% are across the
That's
planet.
crazy. You gotta give people props too, because as I've mentioned, like, we're not as big as,
Oh
the
no.
largest
And we
people.
don't spend money on like
Yeah.
advertisements or anything.
And some of these podcasts, even my episodes with you can range between, as on average, the 40-50 minute mark. But we've had a couple of
Hmm.
episodes where we've delved into things, and it's an hour and a half long. And
Hmm.
and there's a true commitment for anybody to listen to somebody talk about something for, for an hour. I mean, you're taking
Yeah.
1/24th up of their day. Maybe they're at work, maybe they're driving home, maybe they're sitting at home cooking dinner or whatnot. And
Mhm.
and for them to want to hear what we say instead of going to somebody who is already immensely popular, you already have an idea what they might be talking about. It, uh, I cannot thank those people enough for giving us the chance. And if you're listening, thank you for everything that you have done to promote and help this channel step forward further.
Yeah, man, that's really all I can say on that. And I think also it helps too if like now fast forwarding, like making shorts of stuff because we didn't have that
Yep.
available to us 5 years ago. And even just putting it on YouTube was a hassle because now it'll auto go to YouTube, but then I had to re-download and make it a YouTube, like a MP3 to MP4, then upload it to YouTube.
That's a
And
lot of work.
then it was, and I mean, it was just another way out. And then, but now with RSS feeds and all of that, and now sometimes there's random Dragon Ball websites ran by fans and whatnot, and your episodes would be on them, and it's crazy how, yeah, 5 years, man. It's now, and this was the first ones, and people fought through that audio to listen to other people's audios. Man, anything else, Mitch?
No, no, no,
All
that was a
right.
nice trip down memory lane, let me tell you. That was a
Yeah.
good one. Are you
Yeah.
going to
Well,
do you think you'll want to do this with with the other people at L7C? Go back to their first ones?
maybe when some of theirs hit like their 5 year ones, I think it's really cool just going back and listening to that. I think with some of the people though, I mean, they'll be knee deep in current stuff that they want to keep talking about, but I don't know, maybe we'll see. But I just definitely want to do it with the very first
Yep,
episode.
yep. Special
So
time.
with that with that being said, thank you everyone for the support the past 5 years. Can't wait to see what else we bring to y'all and y'all support. We greatly appreciate it. We'll be always back. And again, thank you for listening to the L7C for 5 years and continue listening. Take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.